Bada bing, bada boom. You know what it is. Geeks are back, baby. UFC Orlando. It's going down. Shout out Front Kick Fish. Birthday Epi. Let's
Let's
get it.
go.
Now.
Yes, sir.
Geeks will be on the scene for UFC Orlando, headlined by Stephen Thompson and Kevin Holland. We're breaking down every fight on the main card, starting with the first one, making our way to the top. Let's freaking get after it. These are going to be some absolute scraps. Jack Hermansson is starting off the night against Roman Dolidze. This is a fight at 185. Jack Hermansson's 23-7, Dolidze 11-1. Dolidze coming off some great performances, knocking out Phil Hawes, knocking out Daukus. This guy's just proven to inject pure ice into his veins for these last few bouts. And he's stepping in here against Jack Hermansson. And I think he's going to be able to get it done. I think that his presence and his physicality is going to pay a toll on Jack Hermansson over time. I think his wrestling heavy game plan's not going to really go to plan. I feel like Dolidze goes for these submissions and he goes with them like with vicious intent. So I could see Dolidze snapping something. If he doesn't snap it, standing up on the feet, finds a shot. Dolidze is just filled with something. He's got some power going on. So I'm taking Dolidze in this one. I don't think this is the first fight of the main card, but we'll start here and then just rip through back that last one. What do you got, Dano?
I don't know because it's Hermansson's a durable vet who's been around for a while, but I think I'm gonna ride with Dolidze in this one. And what makes me want to go with Dolidze is because Hermansson's got a very wrestling heavy style, but he's got a low takedown accuracy. So what I think Dolidze is most dangerous in is those dirty boxing situations, the grappling when they're hugging each other up top or up against the fence, where we saw him just annihilate Daukus with a knee, drop Daukus. I think he's going to be able to take advantage of those moments. I feel like Hermansson is just not going to be, up to speed with Dolidze. And I think on the feet, it's just going to be like Hermansson's not really known for striking in the first place. So I feel like Dolidze's power, and I know he's a big ass dude, so I think I'm just gonna ride with Dolidze, and it's tough for me to pick inside because Hermansson's so known to be durable, but I think Dolidze is just riding a lot of momentum right now. Stepped in on short notice, saw an opportunity, and I think he's gonna make the most of it.
Yeah, and we're gonna get an underdog price. Me and Dano at plus 127, Jack Hermansson minus 147. Makes it much easier to dabble in it, even though Hermansson's got all that XP on him. But Dolidze is scary. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm gonna take Hermansson here. I like that he's gonna have a full camp. He was preparing to fight on December 3rd. I know Dolidze is gonna be in shape, but Hermansson's really tough to get out of there, especially early. He's a guy that you really need to wear on, or just have crazy power like Jared Cannonier, which Dolidze does. But I think Hermansson will be able to manage that on the feet early, make it competitive, and then his gas tank is elite, elite, elite. And if this sees rounds 2 and 3, I think Hermansson will be able to have a lot of success. So tough to finish early. He comes on strong late. I'm gonna give him the shot here. So give me Hermansson.
What do you got, front kick?
Yeah, give me Hermansson. He's the vet here. He has the experience. Dolidze, the difference between them is Hermansson has fought the who's who of the division, and I think Dolidze is going to get tested. Hermansson is a great grappler, and he's got some good hands on him too. So I don't think Hermansson's in danger in this fight. So give me Hermansson.
Let's go. We're gonna go with the initial ripper on the main card, which is a guy we just talked about, Kyle Daukus, coming out 11-3 against Eryk Anders, 14-7. Eryk Anders, super entertaining fighter. I love watching his fights. Kyle Daukus, rough stretch, still talented, just waiting to like really mend into the UFC. I feel like he just needs to get his feet kind of settled. I do think he's gonna win this fight. I think that his stand-ups come a long way. I think his jiu-jitsu is insane. And at the end of the day, when this fight comes down to it, I think it's just going to end up with him holding Anders against the fence for a lot of it. and eventually getting that takedown. And once it gets down to the mat, I mean, you're gonna see the difference in the jiu-jitsu. So I think that Daukus is gonna have more routes to victory. Of course, Eryk Anders can land that shot. He does throw those haymakers. He is a former athlete, football player. He's a stallion. But I just think Daukus is just going to be able to edge him out in this one. I'm going to look at the odds here real quick. And so Daukus is about minus 200 everywhere. Anders coming back at plus 170. I mean, not a bad underdog to ride with, but I mean, he's going to have to do something spectacular. So I'm going to take Daukus as the safer play in this one. What do you got? Front kick.
Yeah, give me Daukus in this one. And I think one of these exchanges, he's the Darce Knight, and I think he just gets he might get a sub off in this one. But yeah, I see him throwing hands a little bit here and there, but Daukus has got some crazy scrambles. But yeah, give me the younger dude and Daukus in this one.
Yeah, the gas tank definitely concerns me on the Anders side. Dano, what do you got?
I really like this dog pick with Anders. We've seen him getting grappling fights outside of UFC. Like the boy Andre Petrosky, he did lose, but just getting XP under his belt. I'm not a huge fan of Daukus's stand-up game. I don't think that he'll be too effective on the feet. And one big thing that I saw when I first looked at this fight was, I don't know this for a fact, but I just feel like Daukus, when they go to rehydrate after cutting, it feels like Daukus rehydrates back up to like 195, maybe right around 200. And it looks like Eryk Anders rehydrates up to like 215, 220. He's a big ass dude. Like you said, he was an old football player. And it's just going to be tough for Daukus to, manhandle Anders on the ground, get him in weird spots and transitions, just because Anders is just so his center of gravity is so low, and it's hard to move him around. And I feel like on the feet, Anders is just going to be throwing bombs, which we have seen Daukus's chin. It's not suspect, but it has been touched up a couple times. So especially at dog price, I'm going to ride with just the massive Eryk Anders.
Value play. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm agreeing with Dano on this one. I see a lot of value in Anders here. He's a former Alabama linebacker, D1 football player, top tier athlete, very explosive, very strong. And I think that's what it's going to take to beat Daukus here. He's going to have to be the more physical presence. And then Daukus is coming off a pretty brutal knockout where, if I'm not mistaken, he had some facial fractures after that knee from Dolidze. And that was in June. That's pretty quick turnaround for something like that, especially against a powerful, explosive fighter in Anders. So plus 170, I'm gonna give him the shot.
Let's go. We're split. Stay tuned to the sheet. We're moving into an absolute banger. We have got Tuivasa, Bam Bam, coming out 15-4 against Sergei Pavlovich, 16-1. Woo-wee. This one's going to be crazy. And honestly, anybody who's going to sit here and tell you like that they know exactly how this fight's going to go is just lying to you, man. These Bam Bam fights are completely unpredictable. The way that this guy fights, like he takes a shot to land a shot. You don't know if he can eat it because sometimes he gets rocked, but then he gets back into it quick and he can land shots just as devastating. So this is going to be a barn burner back and forth. I'm taking Tuivasa. I think that his athleticism is going to, maybe show itself in this fight. I think that Sergei, yeah, he's been hitting guys with some really big, clean shots, but he just doesn't look as athletic and as lucid as Tuivasa. So I think that, the stiffness of Pavlovich gets him caught with like some kind of crazy overhand or check hook or something like that. But I mean, these guys are so damn big. One of them's going down face first, and we're going to be there in person, man. Let's go. Fishman, what do you got?
It's a tough one because who do I want to win? Of course, I want to see some shoeys going down. We're going to be in the house. But, I mean, this dude, Sergei, 16-1, his only loss to Alistair Overeem. And he's put over 10, like 13 people to sleep. I mean, this dude hits, bro, and they're all done in the first round. I think Ty is going to get clipped in this one, but it's going to be crazy because when Ty gets clipped, everyone's talking about that kick that landed with Cyril Gahn, bro. He did not fake it, bro. Like, he gets hit, that's his reaction. He stands there and throws as hard as he can. He did not fake shit. So I mean, he gets hit by Sergei, he's gonna swing back. So Sergei's gonna have to put him out. But yeah, Sergei.
What do you got, Goosey?
I'm taking Ty here because I look at the stats and I know Pavlovich is going to have the more technical boxing, but statistically, they're hitting about the same amount of strikes and they're getting hit with about the same amount of strikes. And what's going to probably be a slugfest, I got to take the Western Sydney banger because I think he's going to have the advantage with the leg kicks. He's probably going to have the power advantage, the chin, a little bit worried after that knockout, but I mean, he's that guy. I think he's going to rise to the challenge, and it's going to be back and forth, but I think he hits that shot that puts him out. So give me Tuivasa to get some shoeies in this one.
Let's go, Dano. What do you got? Are you making it a splitzo or what?
This is tough, but I think I'm gonna ride with Tai Tuivasa just because I don't see the legend of Bam Bam ending. If he loses this one, it's gonna hurt him, especially in the rankings. But just like when we look back on this fight a week after, I feel like it was always Tai Tuivasa. I feel like he's got a pretty damn decent chin, and we got to remember in that Surreal Gahn fight, he was just a couple punches away from putting Gahn out. He dropped Gahn with some crazy swinging and banging. I feel like I wish the Pavlovich Lewis fight didn't get stopped so early so we could have seen more Pavlovich. But I just feel like Tai Tuivasa, he can get it done because he always talks about it. He'll swing and bang with anyone, and he holds true to that word.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm a banger from Western Sydney. We bang on with anyone, and I'll bang on with anyone till the day I die.
He's got really good leg kicks. Pavlovich is a scary ass dude, but I could totally see, Tai Tuivasa pulling out like the Greg Hardy fight where he just slips the punch and gets in there with one of his own because he's gonna need to get inside. He's got a really bad reach disadvantage around 10 inches, I think. But if he can chew up the leg and get inside on Pavlovich, he can put anyone out. But same goes with Pavlovich. But I think Tuivasa is going to do what he does best and swing and bang and then hop up on the fence and drink some beer out of a shoe. And don't be surprised if he's sitting up there and you see a white blazer fly past his face, because if he's up there, I might sling my shoe in there hoping he grabs it and drinks out of it. But I'm riding with Bam Bam. He's going to be electric. He always has good walkouts, so the place is going to be rocking.
Yeah, you know it too. And with the situation, you already know who's getting the booze and who's getting the raws, man. So let's move into the next one. 125-pound showcase scrap. We got Matheus Nicolau versus Matt Schnell. And Matheus Nicolau is 18-2-1. Matt Schnell is 16-7. This is going to be a scrap and a half. This one's got some pretty serious implications on it. I would say, the winner of this has got a really big fight coming up next. I'm going to take Nicolau, though. I think that Matt Schnell is a dog. I mean, we all saw it. But, I mean, he had to run through absolute flames and fire to get that W done. And he was losing that fight after being dropped a few times. So I think that Nicolau, last few performances, I mean, you go through the names. Manel Kopp, extremely talented striker. Tim Elliott, extremely gritty grappler, and then David Dvorak, who's kind of just a mix of both and known to be a dog. I mean, he, took care of all three of them. So I think that that's going to line him up perfectly for a guy like Matt Schnell, who's coming off a crazy, damaging fight in a fight that he was kind of losing. I think Nicolau, his stand-ups improved greatly, and his jiu-jitsu is just as good enough to hang in there with Schnell. So I think this is Nicolau's fight all the way. That's where I'm riding. What do you got, Goosey?
right there with you. I'm picking Nicolau. I think he'll be the more dominant presence in there. He's gonna have the power advantage. His technical striking is, I mean, he has very quality wins on his record. They didn't happen by accident. He's got good striking. He's got good grappling, especially when he's in dominant positions. And then Schnell, he does do some good things. Last fight, he was able to get himself out of a bad situation against Nicolau. I think that his pressure will not allow as many openings for him. Sumaderji has a little bit more suspect ground game than Nicolau. I think Nicolau will be able to keep him on his back and get it done. Maybe inside because Schnell has been taking a lot of damage and Nicolau has some pop in the striking. But either way, I like Nicolau in this spot.
Fishman, what do you got?
So at first, I'm looking at Schnell. I like it, but I'm just gonna have to ride with Matheus Nicolau at the end of the day. Same reasons you guys have said. Quality wins on a good opponents. Schnell, it's gonna be a good fight. That's what I'm hyped to see. Schnell is a dog, so it's gonna be a sick fight. He's hard to put away, and probably some good scrambles on the ground. And I think Nicolau might get off a sub after some crazy exchange of drops him or something. But yeah, it's gonna be a banger. I'm riding with Nicolau.
Dano, what do you got?
I'm glad you guys all took Nicolau because I'm not too confident in Schnell, but I'm gonna ride with Schnell. He is a one of those fighters that you got to fight with a crowd. He's very entertaining. The Sumaderji fight, he freaking died in the octagon and rose from the ashes and came back against Maderji. He's very entertaining. He's a super cool dude. Nicolau, he will give him problems, but this is, like you said, this is a high risk fight for both these guys. And if Schnell wants to get there, he's got to get past Nicolau here. I think he could knock him out. He's got some hands on him. He does get hit often, which makes me nervous. But Schnell's just an entertaining guy, and in a fight where the crowd's going crazy, and you got weapons from all angles, anything can happen. So I'm riding with Schnell. Geeks are going Nicolau. We'll see what happens.
Let's go. We're moving right into the next boot. The co-main event. Got the legend, RDA, Rafael dos Anjos, 31-14, coming out against Bryan Barberena, 18-8. Welterweight scrap, 170. I think there's levels to the game. I feel like I can always find a fight on every card where I could say this, and this is going to be the one right here. There's levels to the game, and RDA is just simply on another level than Barberena at this point in his career. I know that Barberena's on a little run here. He was actually debating retirement, and then he started winning and kept winning, and that's the only reason why he's hanging around here still. I've seen in a couple interviews. So, I mean, he's beat 3 guys, Darian Weeks, Robbie Lawler, nothing too crazy that pops off the page where it's like, oh, this guy's back in contention. I know that Robbie Lawler's obviously a legend, but nothing too entertaining out of him lately. RDA's beating guys like Renato Moicano, who we were just seeing a couple weeks back. He looks amazing. Like, these aren't fluke wins, and RDA's gonna have his way, man. He just has this way of getting people to be hesitant on the feet with his takedowns. So I think that he just has his way with the fight, wins the stand-up, gets takedowns. RDA decision. What do you got, Goosey?
See, in this one, plus 380 for Bryan Barberena. He's the bigger guy. I think I got to take him here because he's been at welterweight. RDA, he got slept his last time out. It was against Fiziev, but it was also less than 5 months ago. And at 38, that's a pretty quick turnaround. Barberena, he just makes it dirty. And if he's able to make it dirty with RDA, I think his size will be able to wear him down a little bit. And then he does find some shots in those second and third rounds that really put a hurting on guys. So he's a very big underdog in this one. I do think RDA should be the favorite. But at plus 380, I mean, I'll take a chance on that.
Yeah, that's kind of outrageous numbers that I haven't seen yet. Wow. Dano, what do you got?
Yeah, that 380 is enticing, but I'm going to ride with RDA. I feel like he's just going to be the better fighter everywhere in this fight, but I hope he doesn't stay on the feet with him, because Barberena, he's kind of one of those guys who pulls a rabbit out of the hat and he just finds a way to just out grit guys. I think RDA, his last fight was against Fiziev, who's turned out to be a beast, was down at lightweight. This one's going to be up at welterweight. The cut won't be bad. Hopefully RDA is coming into this feeling really good. And then RDA mix in some takedowns, man. Let's get Barberena on the ground, wear him down, ground and pound, dirty him up a little bit, and then get a dub here. And then let's get RDA on the Brazil card, because I feel like, I don't know the exact date for that, but the times might match up if he doesn't take too much damage in this one.
Yeah, that'd be sick to have him on that card. Fishman, what do you got?
I'm riding with RDA. I look at it this way. I mean, I like if Barberena is not MMA math, but if Barberena and Rafael Fiziev matched up, I'm taking Fiziev, and RDA. I mean, he handled him for a good 4 rounds, and however long he got finished in the 5th. So I mean, RDA is a tough dude to put out, and I think he's just gonna use his savviness in there, his vet experience, and he's gonna shoot a couple takedowns off some and on some exchanges and get him to the ground and win some rounds. Simple as that. But give me RDA, give me the vet.
Let's go. All right, we're moving to the main event. Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson, 16-6-1, coming out against Kevin Holland, 23-8 at 170 pounds. This is gonna be fire. And I'm actually changing my pick here, because I've had my pick set on Kevin Holland like for a long time now. But when it all comes down to it, and it's gonna be in front of the people, and we know it's gonna be a stand-up battle, like I cannot bet against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. This is going to be such a fire matchup, karate versus kung fu. I think that Stephen Thompson's just going to be the more complete guy for 5 rounds, and he's super hungry for a win. He finally gets a striker matchup he's been asking for so long. He's just been getting abused by wrestlers. He's going to let it eat, man, and I hope Kevin Holland is not sleeping on him, because he's going to be hitting him with some serious fucking shit on the feet. And this is going to be back and forth scrap. I think that this is going to be the fight of the night, and Stephen Thompson's going to win like a hard-fought decision. And I can't fucking wait to watch that shit in person, man. Let's freaking go. Give me Stephen Wonderboy by decision. Front kick, what do you got?
So this fight, very, very interesting. I mean, we have one of the better strikers up and coming, Kevin Holland, versus a vet striker. So it's like, I think it plays into Kevin's hand better that it's a 5-rounder and he's the younger guy. And it also comes down to distance. I think that's what this fight's going to come down to. If Wonderboy can keep like a bigger, just a little bit bigger gap between them, I think he's going to win with the leg kicks and just his craft. But if Kevin Holland can get in a little bit closer, I think that's when he can let his hands get some work in. But yeah, I mean, I think Wonderboy comes out with a heavy leg kick and heavy just kick dominant. Obviously, he's karate, and that's how it's going to be. But give me Wonderboy. I think he gets it done.
He's going to have a hard time with those distant shots, man. He's going to need nonsense. But let's hear it. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm going to take Kevin Holland here because everyone was kung fu fighting. But for real, he uses his length well, and he hits guys at the end of his punches, and that's something that I think will give Wonderboy problems because a lot of his karate style is getting in and getting out. And it's going to be tough for him to do that when Kevin Holland has 6 inches of reach. He's going to be in the danger zone more than he's used to. And we saw him get knocked out by Anthony Pettis because of that. He was getting in, getting out of range, and Anthony Pettis hit him with a Superman punch. He used that to close the distance and get inside. I think Kevin Holland, his reach will be enough to do that. And I think Wonder Boy will be winning in this one until he's not. And that will be when Kevin Holland snaps one of those twos down the middle on him. So I think Kevin Holland gets the finish in this one.
Fair play. Dano, what do you got?
Give me Kevin Holland. We're gonna be split on this one, but I feel like you guys are saying, Stephen Thompson finally gets a striker to go up against, but so does Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland has been getting fed a lot of grapplers. Just off the top of my head, I can think of Vittori, Brunson, and Hamzat, all three dominant wrestlers in that middleweight division. But if you look back at those fights, especially Vittori and Brunson, they were boring until they weren't, because he would get taken down and controlled. But once he'd get back up, he would have those guys on skates for the seconds that the fight was back on the feet. Now, I know they're not as good as striking as Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy is the top tier. But Wonder Boy, he could be falling victim to his age. He is 39. His power's starting to fade. And it's going to be tough to point fight over 5 rounds, because I feel like with Holland's power, with Holland's reach, if this does go to decision, Wonder Boy's going to be busted up. His eye's going to be swollen a little bit. He might have a cut here or there. And we know how judges tend to favor that, with the more damaging fighter usually comes out on top. I feel like both these guys are durable. This is going to be an electric fight. But like Goose said, the range and just like it factor of Kevin Holland, I feel like he could get it done. Just don't get his legs chewed up, and stay away from Wonder Boy's crazy weirdness that he throws out at you, which is tough, but I feel like he could do it. So I'm gonna ride with Kevin Holland in this one.
Let's go. Those boys are split dead even. So make your pick wisely. Stay tuned to the sheet. Let's go. Those are the picks and predictions. UFC Orlando. Drop a subscription. Hit us on YouTube. You know what it is. We out. See you there.